Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having the majority of planets in the second quadrant in a natal horoscope. Now, most of you know the second quadrant consists of the 4th, 5th, and 6th houses. The 4th house is over home and family. 5th is children, creative expression, speculation, things of enjoyment, and the 6th house is work, service, and health. So the emphasis, when someone has the majority of planets in this quadrant, there's often an emphasis on the home and family, and of course which includes children, if applicable, from the 5th house. And 6th house is work, so there's an emphasis on this as well. And it's possible maybe all these three things that I just described, 4th, 5th, and 6th houses, they may all be tied into each other. The creativity may somehow be tied in to the person's work life, and they may express this somehow in their creative endeavors. And perhaps this may even be done in the home. And children figure prominently often if the person has children, and even if the person doesn't, this person may have a special rapport with children, and even if they're not his or her own, it could be a brother or sister's children or something. So it's really, there's an emphasis on a lot of just self-expression, which corresponds with the 5th. Things, the home and the family may dominate. This person may be very strongly focused on the needs of these people, and it's not to say that those needs are always going to take precedence over their own, but people in their home life, in their family, are often going to figure very strongly in their life scheme, more so than the average person. Now, look at this. People that have most of their planets in this quadrant can be strongly focused on the health of themselves and the children. They may work very laboriously and hard so they can provide for their children, for their home, so they can keep everything basically up to date as far as payments go. This person may be work on a lot of creative projects in the home, a plethora of them possibly. This could be a person who may be very adaptable and strongly connected with, I guess you could say, like things of a work nature, whether it's working 4 hours one day or 12 hours the next, because that work is something that could figure very strongly in this person's life scheme. This could be something where the health is something that really is something that this person is very strongly fixated on, and so the health of the children and the people in their family life in general are something that is could be very strong focal point in this person's life. Now, people that have majority of their planets in these houses are very strongly perhaps connected with their own, I guess you could say, as far as the their creative expression goes. There is a need. We look at the 5th house, and the 5th house is connected with enjoyment. So a lot of these things might be very enjoyable. Things that are connected with the home can be very enjoyable. Even their work may be something where it's something where work is generally not known to be enjoyable, but they may find some fun in it and find ways where they make their day, their work day, go by a little bit quicker than the average person, and try to incorporate some fun into it. See, The difference, like with the 4th, 5th, and 6th houses, the second quadrant is in contrast to the first. As I talked about in the other video, the first quadrant is more about the self-aggrandizement and more about the self-interest. And I think when you look at the second quadrant emphasis, it's strongly about more things connected with matters pertaining to the person's home, family life, their family members, including children, and also in the work life as well. And this person may have a strong focus on being a strong provider, so they can maintain their home, maintain their family, and really support their children in a very very strong way, of course. And now, with the 6th house being in this mix, I could see where this person may do perhaps a lot of chores, maybe for their home, for their family, for the mother and father, brothers, sisters, if applicable, children, if they have children. And this could be the kind of person that would be really taking care, very inclined maybe to be taking care of their parents, especially if they're in an elderly and debilitated state. So it kind of works like, I think what happens is when someone has a majority of planets in a certain quadrant, those four, not only those four, the 3 houses in that particular quadrant are emphasized, but I think they're kind of amalgamated and they kind of integrate, and they can work, all 3 houses can kind of blend together, and that's what makes this very interesting. I like this segment regarding the quadrants. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having the majority of planets in the 2nd quadrant in a natal horoscope. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having the majority of planets in the 3rd quadrant in a natal chart. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person, astrologically, is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.